What's going on, people? So here's this right side of the box. Get you that picture real quick out of the way. Now let's go ahead and get on into some. Oh, right. First off, let's lead with this, huh? Look at that. You got this card in here, right? So if you happen to like be around people and you want them to all know that you're not okay with like hating Jewish people or racial things or whatever, they put this in here so that way you can show them and they go, oh, he's got the blue check box, check mark or whatever this is, blue square, like that guy's cool, right? So good on Adidas for putting that in there because I didn't even know that was a thing, right? But either way, let's go ahead and talk about some things. First off, we'll talk about the same thing I've talked about many times before already today because I'm doing 8 of these Yeezy videos and I still have 2 more to do after this one. I recorded all these videos before and then the camera thing just had a mind of its own. It was like, I'm not doing this. So recorded the video, which was nice, I guess, but it would have been nice to have had some audio with it. So now I'm doing this whole thing all over again, right? Saying all the same things I said before. Well, maybe not all the same things, but kind of alluding to a lot of the same things. So let's go ahead and get on through this one, right? So I can move on. This is number, what, 6? Yeah, 6. So this right here is the Adidas Yeezy Boost 350 V2 in the Mx Dark Salt colorway. It's a weird name, Either way, let's go ahead and talk about some stuff, huh? Down there, across the bottom, does that look familiar to you? It should because it's a 350 outsole and they all kind of look alike, right? You got some kind of color and then a little boost peeking through at the back. And then when you look at the midsole, right, this also probably looks equally familiar. So you got the same sort of color you saw on the bottom and you can sometimes see the boost peeking through a little bit. And even on the back end, this time around, they kept the same color, makes it a sort of a seamless look. I mean, if you look closely, you can kind of see a slight variance there, but not really. You know what I'm saying? And so now, taking these in from another angle, because this time around, you actually have some stuff to think about, right? Because when you look at these here, you see all these extra layers and all that stuff that you have going on with this upper. Yeah, those make for a slightly thicker upper, right? Which makes for a slightly snugger fit. So if that's a thing that's a problem for you, do something about it. What do you do about it? Well, I don't know, either take out the insole or buy a bigger size, change the type of sock you wear. There's a couple things you can do. Figure it out on your own time. Either way, so like I said, it's still kind of a cool look, but it's just one of those things where when you have materials like this, it's kind of good to know some of the stuff like that. Because compared to like other ones or whatever that only have like a single layer in the top, those just feel a little thinner, right? It is what it is. Still close enough to say they all fit the same, but it's just something to think. Well, this one you might want to think twice about. Either way, most of them otherwise all fit about the same. So let's go ahead and move on from there. I don't think there's a whole lot else to say, so I'm just going to get you guys some personal thoughts and move on to the sizing, because from things you're about to hear, I don't really care to talk about these a whole lot. Personally, this was a bit of a disappointing one, honestly, right? When I first saw the pictures of these online, I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to getting these, right? Because something about them, it just looked like something worth having. I was thinking that I'd like the MXO, the MX Rock, not amazing, but this one looks like it'll be pretty all right. And then I saw them like a couple days later at Finish Line, like when I, in the store, and I was like, oh, this doesn't look as good as the pictures for some reason. I'm not sure exactly what was different. But, sometimes pictures just look better. Sometimes they look worse. You never know what you're going to get, right? Like a box of chocolates, I suppose. But this time around, I looked at it and I'm like, ooh, I'm glad I didn't have to, like, work for these, So then when I got my pair and I'm looking at them like, yeah, it's not terrible, right? But it's just, for whatever reason, doesn't look as cool as I thought it would. So I'm not going to sit here and, like, fully look down on it. I'm just going to say that I felt like it was going to be better, right? But that's one of the things, like that's why people have return policies in a lot of cases, I guess. So you can at least buy something and make your mind up for yourself, because watching things online can be a little misleading, looking at the pictures and all that stuff. But that's just my take on it, right? If you like these or whatever and you just need something dark colored for, because you like darker colored things, yeah, they're fine for that. But just as a personal thing, like ranking these in my 350s, Yeah, that's how I am approaching this situation. But either way, that's enough out of me, right? Don't let my opinion change yours. Stay wherever you were mentally and write that on out. Now, that being out of the way, we can move on. People might want to hear about some sizing, though I've kind of already said some stuff about it, but let's say some more. Sizing wise, right? I bought these in a 9.5 because I have a size 9.5 foot, and I feel that Yeezys are pretty solid true to size fit, right? A lot of people don't agree with that, and I get it because they are super snug or whatever. If you do get one and it's not fitting so great, I mean, you can take the insole out, right? You can do that. And if you're like me and if you've tried going up a half before and you don't like the way that it worked out, then just wear some thicker socks, right? You can fix it pretty easily that way. So I won't get too big onto the size or get too deep into the sizing, just saying what I think, right? Gather some other opinions from the internet if you have access to it. Now, as far as the comfort overall goes, right? The 350s are super comfortable. I'm not going to dispute that. The compact version is definitely the most comfortable version of it. However, those are a little lacking in the colors and availability, so you're mostly stuck with like these 350s. And the only difference being that the upper on those is better. The midsole on each one, very much the same. So walking around in these, a lot of people talk them up like they're the most comfortable shoes out there, and like you got to get these if you want actual comfort on your feet. I mean, I would not agree with that completely. Like, I'm not going to talk down on them, but there are just so many options from so many brands that are so comfortable and often cheaper and in a wider variety of colors that it'd be crazy to just like back yourself into that corner. That's just my take on it. But all in all, though, I'm not going to sit here and talk down on the 350s. I like the nice little prime knit that kind of stretches out over time, fits a little better to your foot if you wear them enough. They're breathable, they're light. Yeah, they're just not made anymore, I guess, or whatever. So there is that. But that's enough out of me on the sizing anyways for these shoes here. So from me to you, have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night, whatever it is, wherever you are. Like I said before, I got a lot of stuff to do, and recording these things is only a small portion of it. I'm still going to have a whole lot of crap to do after the fact. So later, people.